run through my soul. Bring me wisdom and peace. Run through all ages and all of life's stages. You bring me around to find my release. Run, river, run through the hill.
Hi, this is Jan Lewis. Welcome to be my guest. We have back encore appearance by our author, Debi Leard. Welcome back, Debi.
Thank you very much.
She has a series called the Bed, Breakfast, and Blackmail series. And if you like a good mystery, right?
Actually, the series it's a Gwen Andrews mystery.
Gwen Andrews mystery, yeah.
Bed, Breakfast, and Blackmail is the third story in the series.
Yep. Is it going to be a fourth?
There is. And actually, the fourth, which I'm working on now,
Yep.
is called Wedding Interrupted.
The wedding plan? Oh, Wedding Interrupted.
Wedding Interrupted.
Another Gwen Andrews mystery.
Another Gwen
the
Andrews
fourth one.
mystery, yes.
When will that be out, Debi?
I would assume 2021.
20 or 21?
Every 2 years, I seem
Are
to
you
get them out.
appearing in different places, getting the word out?
Yeah, I am. Between now and the end of November, I have 14 author talks that I've set up.
That's so important.
It is.
It really, really is. Now, I think the first time we met was last May, and we were talking about, I think, your other books, right?
Yes, we were talking about the first two,
Yeah.
which were The Uninvited Guest,
Yeah.
was my debut mystery, and after that came Where There's Smoke, There's Trouble.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Where did you get the ideas for these?
The Uninvited Guest was my debut mystery after I retired, and the grain of an idea for that story came from an abandoned library in the town of Norton, right on the...
Norton, which is where you're from. How far away is it? Tell them how far.
Oh, it's about a 40-minute drive from here. I don't know the mileage.
Yeah.
495.
Not too far.
Almost right there. Yeah, but the grain of an idea was that old library. I always thought it would be the coolest place to live, and so that is where my main character lives.
Aha.
In my writer's mind, I converted it into a home
Yeah.
with the help of her husband, who was an architect, and unfortunately he passed away before the story opened.
Oh, my gosh.
Yes.
So what are they doing with the library now? So it's still there?
Oh, in real life?
Yeah.
In real life, rather than writers.
It's a real
writers'
library?
life? It's a real library,
Okay.
but it's abandoned.
Well, what are they going to do with it?
I don't know. It now belongs to Wheaton College.
Oh, Wheaton. I had a friend who went there in
Yes,
college. Is it still an all-girls school?
No, it was converted
now?
to co-ed quite a few years ago.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
So you know something, this, in your town, so if they've abandoned that library, do they have another library in Norton where you've gone? And
There is a brand new library about
Yeah.
a mile north of this one,
Yeah.
the one where my character lives.
Oh, so they know. So you're getting, the big thing is when you have something about your town,
Mm-hmm.
is to get the word. So you've spoken there.
Oh, yes, of course.
Oh, that is
Of
so
course
cool.
I have. Yes, it is cool.
Gwen Andrews, so Bed, Breakfast, and Blackmail. You came up with her name, right?
I did.
Okay.
And that was a combination of the dancer, Gwen Verdon, if you remember her.
I remember
Way
when I was a
back
little
in the
girl,
day.
Mom and Dad used to watch her on TV.
Yes, and I always loved the name Gwen. And Andrews came from the Andrews sisters, the singing sisters.
Oh my
So I
God.
put those two things together.
Were the Andrews sisters, God, Mom and Dad used to watch, were they on Lawrence Welk?
Probably.
There was some
Probably.
group, 3 or 4 sisters on
Yeah.
there. I don't know who they were, but
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Now, in your family, are you the only author?
The only fictional author, yes. My sister's very big into family ancestry,
Yeah. Oh, genealogy.
genealogy, so she has a big, thick volume of family history.
So it kind of runs in the family, this ability to write.
A little bit,
Yeah,
a little bit.
How about your children?
I only have 2 stepdaughters. I
Yeah.
have no children of my own.
Now, without giving it away, what is this new one? Bed, Breakfast, and Blackmail. Now, what is this about?
Okay, this is, like I say, this is the third story in
Yeah.
this series. There will be 4. This one takes place at a local bed and breakfast.
Mhm.
It takes place just before Christmas. The story opens as Gwen is arriving at the bed and breakfast for the garden club Christmas party.
Yeah.
And 3 things happen. Number 1, the owner, the co-owner, Betty Owens, tells Gwen that their ghost is causing some havoc.
Yeah, I love that part.
And then the second part is that she overhears a blackmail threat.
Yeah.
Accidentally. And then the third thing that happens is that one of the garden club members falls down the servants' steps
Yeah.
and dies.
Did fall, or do you think pushed?
Well,
That's
this
the mystery.
this is the mystery.
Yeah.
This is the mystery, and she is enlisted by the local police department to be an undercover informant, because she knows everyone in that garden club, and she can get information without them being suspicious that
Right.
she's working with the police. And that is the big question. Their ghost actually fell down that same set of stairs back in 1924
Yeah.
and died. And
Their
now
ghost? Yeah.
this woman now has fallen down those same stairs.
Right.
So the question is, was the ghost involved? Or was it someone in the garden club?
The picture, Debbie, the picture on the cover, I mean, these are beautiful. Did you pick this out?
That is a photograph of the Blackington Inn in Attleboro, Massachusetts.
Yeah, I didn't think it looked like the library.
No, it's not the library. And that's been around since colonial times.
So it
And
really is an inn.
It's an inn. It's a restaurant, mostly.
Yep.
They do have a few rooms for rent, I think, now. Beautiful carriage house in the back where they have functions.
Did you have to ask first before you got a picture?
I took the picture first, and
Yeah.
then I asked them if I could use it on the cover,
And they said sure.
They gave me permission.
Do they have a copy of any of your books?
Of course they do. I have donated a copy to them as a thank you.
I'll bet they love it. Did you ever give a presentation there?
No, I haven't.
There will be a cool place.
I haven't. It
You
would
got it right
indeed.
there.
It would indeed.
Now, where have you been appearing lately? Where have you, what you been up to?
I appear at senior centers and retirement communities and libraries, book clubs. Tomorrow afternoon, I'm going to be giving a talk at the Franklin Library.
Oh, I know it very well. It's a
Yeah.
very old-looking library.
It is.
Is it all stone?
Yes,
Okay.
it is. In fact, the story about the Franklin Library is when it was first opening, they wrote a letter to Benjamin Franklin and asked him for a donation. They were looking for money, I understand.
Yeah.
What he sent them was a copy of each of his books.
Oh my God! So they've got those in archives
Yes,
there.
yes, they do.
I wonder how old that library is. That's one of our oldest.
It is one of the oldest. I think it's the first public library, I want to say.
I think I think it was a student in school said that was the first public library.
Yes.
Did you always live in Norton, or have you lived more out this way?
Well, I was born in Delaware.
And what brought you up here?
My heart.
Your heart.
I followed my heart.
Okay.
I'm no longer with that particular gentleman. But I moved up here in 1969, and I've been here ever since.
You must have been like 10. No,
I was 20.
That's pretty
at
young
the
still.
time.
I mean, to uproot. I remember when I went to college at 1920, I was floored. I was like 3 hours from home. That might not mean anything to a lot of people, but I knew no one. I was physically sick. I was so homesick.
Oh.
For the first 3 months, Dad would drive all the way up from Wilbraham to Plymouth, New Hampshire, bring me back for the weekend until it stuck, and I made a friend, and I was okay.
And then you were okay.
I wasn't, I don't know, I wasn't, it was just, it felt foreign to me. It really did. I liked it, but you're overwhelmed if you're from a small town. It's like, oh my God, this is a big college. Did you go to college?
I did. I went to school in Delaware, and
Yeah.
then I actually graduated from Bryant University up here
Where's Bryant?
in Lincoln.
It's in Lincoln. What did you major in?
Marketing and business.
Aha, so you're probably very good at getting this out.
Well, I don't know.
Now,
I've
she's
been
got a
doing
third
okay.
one coming. The third one will
Well, the
be
fourth
maybe
one.
next
The
year,
fourth
right?
one. The fourth
It'll-
one. That's the third
This
one.
is going to be the fourth one. Wedding Interrupted. What kind of, give us an idea what that's going to be like? Whet their appetite. And mine.
It is not Gwen. Some of my followers have said, "Oh, Gwen's getting married." I said, "No. You'll have to wait to read the story." But it's something happens. Somebody wants to have a wedding in her backyard, and of course things go wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, books that you had that you'd read on before,
Yes.
those were, let me see.
Yes.
I don't want to forget these. I want to show them too. Where there's smoke, there's trouble. Okay, and then The Uninvited Guest. I think this is the first one.
That was the first
Yeah,
one.
that I
Yes.
received. And do they have copies downstairs here at the library?
I don't know if they ordered copies for themselves or not.
You
I
did,
don't
yes.
know if they did.
Authors are free to leave a copy if they want. It's put on the dedicated author shelf.
Okay.
So it's another great way to get the word out. People can borrow it, and next thing you know, they're going to buy it.
I didn't know if you donated the copies that I shipped
Yeah,
to you.
I'd have to remember if I did, or if I lent it to someone.
Mhm.
Once someone sees a book, oh, Jan, can I borrow your copy?
Yeah, of course.
Now, I'm not going to track them down, you know. They take maybe forever to read it. So these were the two. These were the first two you wrote.
Yes.
These were the first two. All right.
And one of the interesting things I'd like to mention about
Yep.
Bed, Breakfast, and Black Nail is the research is really the fun part of writing fiction. You go all over the place and talk to certain people that are involved with whatever your topic is. But I accidentally bumped into, now I mentioned that the Bed and Breakfast has a ghost.
Yes.
Well, my main character's husband has also come back as a ghost. So now I have two ghosts, right, in this story. And I had met some friends for lunch one time in Northbridge.
Northbridge, that's right there next town
It's
over.
not too far from here.
Whitensville, Northbridge.
Yeah, and it was in an old inn. I believe it's still there. They actually have weddings out
Wait a
back
minute,
in the gazebo
Is that...
in the back.
I'm thinking, though. Are you sure it wasn't the old Uxbridge Inn? You
No.
sure it was Northbridge and the
I'm pretty
Linwood?
sure it was
A
Northbridge.
big yellow old 1800s house?
Yeah, that
Okay,
sounds right.
Yeah, yeah.
But we had lunch, and it's this big, huge building, and they don't use a lot of it other than for special functions, I would imagine. But they said, "Oh, go take a walk. You can go walk through."
Yeah.
And there were portraits hanging on all the walls, some identified, some not. And I came upon this portrait, and I took a picture of it.
What a hairdo.
I have no idea who this lady
Here, let me
is.
hold it up for you really high.
All right.
You have no... They didn't tell you who it was?
There was no identification of who that was.
Well, the
but-
hairdos were not that flattering back then. were they?
She became the ghost in Bed Breakfast.
She's the one who became the ghost.
She became the ghost. I named her Theo,
Yep.
and when I talk about her, when she appears in the story, that is how I describe her. So that's one of those little pieces of research that is so satisfying. It just makes you smile.
I wonder when... Was this maybe the 1800s?
I don't know, early 1900s. Like I say, it was not identified. But I thought she was lovely, and she had the right expression
Yeah.
for the character that I had in mind
Oh,
for
yeah.
this young lady. And she was the ghost that was haunting the Bed and Breakfast.
So now we've met the ghost.
And then met the ghost.
Debbie, you retired after your marketing career,
I did.
and before she began writing her first novel, The Uninvited Guest, and this is the third in the series, and the fourth is on its way. How can they get a hold of you, Debbie?
Anyone can email me at debi-lee@comcast.net. My cell phone, call me anytime, 508-272-0235. I love to meet my readers and talk about writing and discuss what I'm working on or a particular book, or I love to be invited to speak at wherever.
Yep, go for it. Have you been to, it's up in Webster, the Book Lovers Gourmet. Have you spoken up there?
I have not.
Oh, you'll love it. Deb Horan runs it. I'll give that information to you afterwards. How about Tapnut? Tapnut, bookseller in Westboro?
No.
They
Don't
told you
forget, I'm from 40 minutes south of
I'm
here,
going to give
so.
you two hints here.
Yeah.
You gotta come out this way. We read too. Oh my God.
Well, this is what I'm always waiting for.
Yeah.
Suggestions.
Definitely. Oh, I got
Yeah.
two right now for you.
Okay, very good.
That's where I send a lot of my authors. Now, she was born in Delaware, but she lives, of course, in southeastern Mass now, and you have a kitty named Callie.
Unfortunately, she passed away this winter.
Real? Oh my gosh, what happened?
We think she had a stroke. We were in Florida.
Yeah.
She was a great traveler. She traveled with us as we drove down and drove back. She was 16, so she was
Getting up
older.
there.
She was getting up there.
Yeah.
And we think she had a stroke. She just woke up one day and she couldn't stand up. She just flopped. So we took her to the local animal hospital down there, and they
Yeah,
put her
and
down
that's how you
for us.
found out. You going to get another kitty?
No, because it's too restricting. We do a lot of traveling, and you have to find somebody to watch the cat. We You have to take that with you.
Yeah, and it could be the boarding places. I don't know. I don't think they will.
Cats do not take well to boarding.
No, they
dogs
don't.
are okay, but cats no.
They say we can leave. We've got 2 kitties. They say you can leave a cat for an overnight. To leave enough water and a little bit of extra chow around. They're okay for an overnight, but it's not a good idea to go for more than maybe 1 night.
Long weekends are fine.
Are
Like
they?
Two nights, we've done that.
You've done
But
it.
if you get any longer than 3 days,
Yeah.
we have to find someone to come over and check the water, check the food, perhaps clean the cat box if they don't mind.
Oh, God. Yeah. Oh,
But no,
I know when I was pregnant, that was a no-no. I could not. I could not. They say you cannot do the cat box if you're pregnant because there's something in the ingredients in there. It's not good for a pregnant lady.
Oh, it's very.
So that didn't bother me. I didn't lose any sleep over that one. I was like, fine, you get. You know what I love too is that a parallel case. The detective was really in love with Glenn. He was falling in love with Gwen, right?
Yeah, he's very fond of her.
And
They actually met in where there's smoke.
The
There's
first
trouble.
one, yeah.
The second.
The second one.
This is the second one. They met here, but there was nothing going on. She
Yeah.
was actually with another man
Yep.
at that point. But when we get into bed, breakfast, and blackmail, they're working more closely together
Yeah.
because she becomes his confidential informant for this
Love it.
case.
She moves ever closer toward the murderer. Her biggest challenge may be her own survival. I love the fact that you made it that she is going to be the informant. I love that. And yet she's the one that owns the bed and breakfast.
No, that
No?
belongs to her friend.
Oh, I forgot.
She lives in the library.
Okay, she's in the library.
She's
and
in
her
the
friend owns this
library.
one.
Her friend owns the bed and breakfast.
Oh, wow. Yeah, and then she overheard the whispered blackmail threat. That's enough to do it right there. Is the next book going to kind of like tie in?
They are separate stories, but they kind of have a flow to them. The Uninvited Guest takes place in the fall.
Yep.
Okay. And Where There's Smoke, There's Trouble is the following spring, April. And this one is the following Christmas.
Yeah, you can tell by the design.
Yes. And then the next one, which is Wedding Interrupted, will be in the following June.
Come out.
So
next,
we're within a 2-year span at this point.
Yeah. Now, how many hours a day do you dedicate writing?
I don't write every single day. Depends on whether I have an idea of where I want to take a character.
Sure.
But I'm always thinking about it. They're always in my mind.
Do you always keep lists beside you? Something comes. It could be anywhere in the car. You could be in a waiting room, and something comes to you, and you write it down.
Well, actually, it stays in my mind until I get home, and I rush over to the computer, and I open it up, and I insert a big bold note about something that I want to happen right in this scene.
Right then, and you're going to. Do you have someone that edits it for you, a friend, or?
My publisher is also an editor.
Good.
Stephanie Blackman of Riverhaven Books in Whitman.
Yeah.
She's an English professor, so she is
That's
a
terrific.
wonderful editor. Yeah.
That's really good.
Um,
I like I said, the colors of the cover and the whole design is so inviting. It looks so New Englandy. It's called Harbor Falls, is where they are.
It's Harbor Falls, exactly.
And you thought that one up too, right?
I did.
If you're not, if they're watching from the state, this is all over the country and across the water. This is a very New Englandy area because, well, obviously it's in New England, but it's got that flavor. When you go in the different towns, you see the houses in the 1800s, some in the 1700s. In Norton, do you have a lot of that?
Not a lot.
Yeah.
Not a lot. In fact, the bed and breakfast that I sort of fashioned that after used to exist on the corner of 140 and 123 in Norton. It was called the Wheaton Inn. And it has been torn down. It is long gone.
I didn't know 140 went all the way up to Norton.
Oh yeah, it goes through Norton, down into Taunton,
Oh, okay,
all
so
the way
heading
down to New Bedford.
All right, that's more
Dartmouth.
towards the Foxborough, Bridgewater, down that, more toward Mansfield, that type area?
Yes.
My parents lived in Foxborough, so I
Okay.
kind of know the area a little
Yeah.
bit.
Yeah, 140 just winds all the way down.
Now, we got the next one coming up, and I think she said it's going to be in about, maybe a year or so, within a year.
Yeah, about a year or so. Yeah, I'm about a third of the way through that one. And the bugaboo with writing a mystery is, number one, you have to know how it ends before you begin.
Right.
But then you have to figure out what characters do you need, Which characters are you going to keep from the previous?
Mm-hmm.
What new characters do you need to bring in? Where are they going to go? What are they going to do? What are they going to say to each other? Who do you need in a scene?
Mm-hmm.
Who needs to be off the page at a particular moment? And you have to get that all logically lined up in order for the story to make sense.
You'd make a wonderful writers group instructor.
Well, in fact, one of the places where I gave a talk, it was Magnolia Heights in Franklin, she said, you know what, there's a lot of my people, because I did give a talk to
Yeah.
their book group,
Right.
and a lot of them were interested in writing.
Yes.
So maybe we could set up some sort of a writers group
Yes.
versus just a book group.
Yes.
So we're waiting to see if we can pull that together.
They have a lot of out this way. It's like almost every library has a writers group.
Mhm.
I just went to the one in Sutton. I was amazed. I mean, we basically filled the room.
Oh, okay.
It was pretty darn interesting. But you have an ability to explain simply and understandably how to write. Start from the ending. Know your ending. That never occurred to me. I'm always thinking how I would start it, what it's all about.
Okay.
But so you've got a timetable approach.
Yeah, you do, and especially with a mystery, you have to plant the characters that you need, the clues,
Yeah.
your red herrings. They have to be all the way through the story.
Do you write those down so you have like a script to go by?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So you
Yeah.
write that down. Look, oh, she's all set.
Well, here's my for this book, Bed, Breakfast, and Blackmail. So I keep track of
Oh, yeah, you'd make a great teacher.
the characters. Here's my character names, and you can see first name, last name.
Yep.
And you want to be sure to have different starting letters,
Yeah.
first and last, different number of syllables.
Yeah.
You don't want them to all end in a Y.
No.
You know, want to have different
Yeah.
endings.
Right.
And that's so when your reader comes to a character on the page, they'll kind of remember who that was. In fact, the most fun character name I had is Ben Snowcrest,
Yeah.
who is the detective.
Yeah.
And he arrived in Where There's Smoke, There's Trouble, and he is reappearing.
Will he be in the fourth one?
Yes, he will.
Will he
But-
still be a love interest?
Well, I'm thinking yes. Like I said,
go
I'm
for
still
it.
plotting.
Go for
I'm
it.
still plotting.
How old is she, kind of, in your imagination?
She's in her 60s.
Oh, good.
She's in
Give her a
she's
love
retired.
interest.
She's retired.
Okay, give her a love
And
interest.
she's a widow.
Yeah.
You know. In fact, I had a gentleman at one of my author talks say, "So you killed off her husband?" I was like, "No, he passed away a few years before the story began.
Yeah.
So I didn't kill him off."
I think he said that. You go have her husband. How many in the series do you think you're going to have in the long run?
Well, originally it was going to be 3,
yeah.
and then I decided 4, one for each season. And I'm not sure I want it to end with Wedding Interrupted.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of going off and doing a standalone that is going to take place in Delaware.
Not quite home.
And this is going to just be one story, a standalone. I don't think it'll be a mystery. It will have nothing to do with Gwen at all.
It'll be somebody new.
Totally different, a younger character.
Yep.
And I've kind of started working on this one as well.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Is that going to be the cover?
Well, sort of.
Yeah.
My publisher will maybe find a better
Fall.
photograph.
Looks like fall.
Yes, it will be in October.
Ah. So this will be like kind of a whole different thing than
A totally
these.
different character, totally out. And I've kind of done a positive negative on that cover
Yeah.
with the oval.
Yeah. Oh, that's right.
Yeah, instead of having
Well, this one
field
too,
of color.
right? Yeah.
Yep, they're all like
They
that.
all have the old
They all
one.
have the center photograph
Yeah.
with the field of color.
See, I like
around
that.
it,
Your attention goes right to the.
right to the center. So this is just the opposite.
Yeah.
The photograph is around the outside,
Yeah.
and
Will the characters be nothing like these characters?
no, nothing connected to Gwen at all.
Nothing. Not at all.
Totally
Will
different.
it be a mystery?
I'm not sure. I'm thinking maybe romantic suspense,
Very good.
something a little different. Yeah, and
Do you-
then maybe I'll come back to Gwen, see what she's up to.
You know, it's funny because with these books, the bed and breakfast books, it's almost like historical mystery fiction in a way, because you're kind of thinking of the library, right?
Yeah.
And the bed and breakfasts we have in this area,
Mm-hmm.
the one in Norton, right?
Well, this one is historical in a sense because I have the ghost from 1924,
Yeah.
but now we're up in 2000 and what?
19.
18,
18,
19,
yeah.
whatever. So you have that connection from the past to the present.
Sure.
Yeah.
I love that. How can they get a hold of you, Debbie? Or get your book too.
Alrighty. Actually, my book is available on Amazon, of course. You can just plug in either my name or one of the book titles to find it on Amazon. It's also available at An Unlikely Story in Plainville and Paperback Junction in Easton. They carry copies of my books.
Wait till we get her over at Tatnook, and then I'll put a later in on
Yeah,
this.
let me have the contact
So,
information.
we're going to have to close, but we've been talking with Debbie Graham Leard. Did I say that right?
You did.
Okay. Bed, Breakfast, and Blackmail. I feel like a good, juicy mystery with a lot of New England to it right here. And you probably could pick up a copy right here in Upton.
I will check downstairs.
Sure, see if it's not,
Yeah.
see if it's
Yeah.
there. It's a great way to check it out, and hopefully we can get her over to closer to here, Tatnook and over in Webster. I mean, that would be really super. Those are beloved places.
Well, like I say, I'm always looking for suggestions.
Yeah.
To spread out,
Oh, definitely.
spread the word.
I still think you'd make a wonderful writers group instructor,
Oh well, I
Ahead
could,
of it.
someday I will.
because I know one of them that I went to, and I can tell by the people that are sitting there what they're hungry for. Just the fact that you said, what's the ending going to be? You take it right through. I don't think that enters a lot of our minds. I'm thinking, how am I going to get started with this? I've got this idea, I'm starting, but you've got a really good timeline thing going with the characters and all. I love that.
And that's especially true with a mystery.
Yeah, you'd have to really. Look, she's got quite a workbook here that for this whole story. You did your homework. Would you work at night or in the day, or how do you?
I work in the morning.
In the morning?
When I'm fresh. I get tired by the end of the day.
We'll let her be tired. After all these doggone books, you're going to let us know about the new one, right?
I will. I'll be in
Right.
touch.
All right. Well, thank you, Debbie, and
Oh,
we'll
you're
see you next
welcome.
time. I'll be my guest.
All right. Thank you.